there flippers, and welcome back to Second Life Treasures. So on today's video we are going to be doing, or going back to an old series. So we're going to go back to doing the midweek charity shop hunts. So for those of you that haven't seen them before, the midweek charity shops basically comprise of sort of free charity shops that are sort of near where I sort of live and work. They're not the ones in the town centre. So we will be visiting the Dogs Trust, Hospice of Hope and Bernardo's. But what I am going to do sort of a bit differently from what I did before when I was doing the midweek charity shop hunts is I am actually going to include sort of the footage from all three charity shops, and sort of, yeah, we'll just sort of talk through it all. So at the moment we are in the Dogs Trust, and I've just been going through some of the games that they had there. Those are not for resale, they are going for my private collection. And then just having sort of a quick look through the DVDs, there's a couple that sort of jump out at me. We've got this one which looks like a special edition of the Shawshank Redemption. I think they were looking for £2 for this, but when I sort of look it up on the phone, I find out that it's only actually selling for about sort of between £4 and £5. So yeah, there's sort of no value in that for me. To be quite honest, I will probably start sort of looking at sort of expanding out my DVDs. So if I can sort of pick up DVDs for sort of like £1 or 50p, I may sort of look to start picking up a few more, even if I am just sort of selling them for sort of like £3, £4, £5. I'm probably going to look to sort of start doing that, just sort of get sort of a bit more sort of flowing through the sort of the eBay shop. And yeah, so now we're over by the toys. I'm just having a look through sort of the toys. They've got sort of jigsaw puzzles, board games and everything like that over here. And yeah, so this jumps out at me actually. This is a new in-box Airfix model. They've got it priced up at, I can't remember off the top of my head what they've got it priced up at, but it was quite expensive. I think they've got it priced up at like £5, £6, something like that. And then when I'm sort of scanning it, it's only coming back at sort of like £9 or £10. So once again, there's no real value in that. It is a shame with sort of because the Airfix models do sell sort of really, really well. For those of you that sort of didn't see, I managed to pick up, it wasn't an Airfix model, it was Revel, I think is the manufacturer. It was a big A380 sort of model set, and I picked that up, managed to get that for £2 at the boot fair. Got it home, sort of looked it up, and it was selling for sort of £35. So yeah, if you are out and about, Airfix models or that sort of thing, if you can get them cheap, they normally sell quite well. Then you'll see that I've sort of picked up sort of a couple of sort of brand new jigsaw puzzles actually. The first one wasn't really worth anything, and we've got this one which is a Downton Abbey. So looking it up, it's not selling for sort of bad money. So I think they've got it priced up at £5 because it is brand new. So I am going to grab it. It's only going to be a couple of quid worth of profit, but once again, just sort of trying to keep that flow sort of going through the eBay store. Obviously with the boot fairs now shutting down, I'm going to have to sort of be a bit more or not be as selective in sort of what I'm picking up from the charity shops, because yeah, we just need to sort of keep the eBay store sort of flowing along throughout the winter. There we go, we've got another Airfix model, but yeah, I can't remember, once again I can't quite see the prices on my screen at the moment sort of while we're going through the video, but it was more than sort of it would be worth, so yeah, that got left. Okay, so I think that's going to just about wrap it up in the Dogs Trust. So what we'll do is we will head off to the next charity shop and see what we can find in there. So here we are now back into the Hospice of Hope. So just heading up the back, there's someone standing by the book, so I wanted to have a quick look through sort of all the puzzles. And then yeah, as I'm standing there, I get some more brought out, but they're all sort of pre-owned, sort of, they're not sealed, so yeah, don't really sort of pay too much attention to them. Then just having a quick look. Yeah, so there's a couple of games here that I sort of have a look at. This one made me laugh actually. They've got it, so it's got a 75p CEX sticker on it, but then they've got it priced up at £1.50. So yeah, I was like, well, if it's going to be cheaper out of CEX. And I'm just having a look. Obviously, once again, there are sort of a couple of games that I sort of end up picking up for myself. As I say, the charity shops and the boot fairs are sort of the main place where I've been getting games sort of recently. I am hoping sort of to start picking up other stuff sort of elsewhere, but yeah, so you will see on sort of some of the videos, both sort of charity shops and boot fairs, that I am picking up stuff that I end up sort of keeping for my collection. We've got this, which is a brand new sealed puzzle, 1,000 piece. I did actually look that up last week, and it had sort of, I think they had it priced up at £5 or £6, and it was only selling for sort of like 8 or 9. So once again, once I sort of got that and sort of sold it with fees, shipping and sort of packaging, I'd probably sort of lose about £4 to £5. So yeah, that got left behind. Then I'm just having a quick look at this one. So this is, I believe it was a 500 piece puzzle. Quite small, obviously depicting sort of a Christmas scene. So yeah, just having a quick look at that. I think they've got it priced up at sort of like £2, I think it was. But once again, then sort of looking through, it's sort of selling for sort of £3, £4, £5 maybe, something like that. But once again, just not worth a pickup. Then having a quick look at the toys. I don't actually normally sort of look at that shelf that often. I normally forget about it when I'm in, but yeah, so I thought I'd just have a sort of quick look around there today. Now, just having a look through the tops, obviously I am sort of on a big push at the moment to sort of expand out sort of the sort of things that I'm looking at. So I have now sort of started looking at sort of like jumpers, sort of hoodies, designer sort of clothes, and yeah, just trying to sort of expand out sort of with the sort of clothes that I'm sort of picking up. Obviously at the moment it is just sort of like the jumpers and the hoodies and sweatshirts and things like that I'm looking at, and then sort of over time I'm going to sort of start sort of expanding out sort of what I'm looking at, because yeah, obviously with the charity shops, and I know it's a comment that I see sort of quite often on the videos about how sort of like the charity shops are dead, and in certain respects I can see it, because obviously the charity shops are sort of pricing a lot of stuff up sort of in line with sort of places like eBay. So for sort of resellers, we'll go in there and there's no profit to be made. But at the end of the day, that is what they're there to do. They're being sort of donated this stuff, and they're essentially, their job is to sort of make as much money from the stuff that they receive in sort of donations. So yes, it is. It makes sort of my life harder with regards to sort of sourcing items, but I can't really be annoyed by it, because at the end of the day, that is what a charity shop is for. It's to make money for the charity. So yeah, I will sort of continue sort of going out to charity shops. I will, obviously, I am still looking for stuff to sort of to sell, but it's it's just a case of sort of playing the game, sort of looking for the things that they've not quite sort of priced up, and sort of buying them to sort of flip on eBay. So we've now sort of moved on to Bernardo's. So I am just sort of looking through. So what they do in Bernardo's is a lot of the sort of DVDs, Blu-rays, and sort of quite a few of the jigsaw puzzles actually go into sort of tote boxes out the front of the store. So what's quite good with this store is they've got a big sort of the outside, the front of the store is sort of covered over, because there's actually, I believe, a store above it as well, and so yeah, they're able to sort of put some stuff outside, so it doesn't sort of makes it a lot easier to sort of have a look through the stuff that's outside first. Normally they have sort of tables either side of the door and then just across from the door as well, so there's normally quite a bit of stuff outside. You'll see there that I was just sort of looking up a DVD box set. That was actually a John Wayne DVD box set, but once again, looking online, it's only selling for sort of about £4 or £5, and then I'm sort of straight off sort of looking at the tops. So you'll see that I sort of look at the tags for a lot of the tops as well. What I am actually looking for, I'm looking for sort of what they're made of. So I am looking for things like 100% wool, maybe some things that are sort of like a cotton blend. So the top that you saw in the last charity shop, it was a super dry jumper. I do end up picking that up, and I picked that up because that is a 95% cotton and 5% cashmere blend. As well, to be honest, one of the big reasons I bought it was because it was super dry. So obviously a sort of popular brand. But yeah, I'm looking for sort of like any tops with sort of cashmere in. Once again, cotton blends, 100% wool. A lot of the tops that you will sort of see, that a lot of them that are manufactured now are made with acrylic. So there's, I'd probably say, out of these two racks that I'm looking at now, I'd say probably close to 90% of the tops that are in there, or the sort of like the jumpers, are going to be acrylic. So there's no resale in them, so I do sort of skip over them. But yeah, what the way that I'm sort of looking through is, obviously I'm looking through first and foremost at who makes them, because if there's sort of if it's a top that's sort of made by someone like Primark, for example, that would have been sold originally for £3-4 probably. So there's definitely no sort of resale value for it for me. And then sort of if I'm coming across a brand that I don't recognise, I then sort of look at what the top's made of, and then from there, if it's sort of a material that's interesting to me, I'll then sort of pull out my phone and find out sort of what they're sort of selling for. So there's a bit of a process with the tops that I'm taking at the moment. Obviously, if anyone else has got sort of any other sort of suggestions or ideas with sort of how I can sort of look for this sort of stuff, then by all means sort of let me know in the comments down below. So we're just over at the toys and the games now, so I'm just having a quick sort of look through just to sort of see if there is anything. And if I remember rightly, I do find something. I think I'm just grabbing it now. Yep, there we go. So it's a Winnie the Pooh sort of book. It's massively heavy, but I think it's like a sort of collective works of Winnie the Pooh. I think looking at the sort of date in the front of the book, it was sort of 2003, I believe. So yeah, I do sort of look it up. I think I can't remember what they've got it priced up at. I think it was like £4 or £5. But it is in really, really good condition. So I'm really sort of hopeful sort of at this stage as to sort of what it's going to sell for. So yeah, out comes the phone, and it's not selling for a lot. So yeah, unfortunately, it is another one that I had to sort of leave behind. So that is going to be about it for the charity shops. So as I say, I am going to sort of continue doing the midweek hunts, and I'm going to sort of do them in this sort of format. But what we'll do now is we will head home and we'll have a look at sort of what we managed to pick up. Okay, so we are back from the charity shops, and we've got a couple of pickups today which are really good. So we're going to dive straight into it, and the first pickup is the men's super dry jumper. So we saw this in Hospice of Hope, and they had it priced up at £5.95. So I have been finding that sort of jumpers and sort of tops all seem to be sort of priced around the sort of £5 to £6 mark, regardless of sort of what charity shop it is. Some of them, if it's a designer brand, like I've seen some that are that have sort of like, I've seen a couple of sort of Tommy Hilfiger tops, and sort of the charity shops just whack them right up to like £8-9. But yeah, so it's about £5 or £6 sort of on average you'll be paying for sort of a men's or women's jumper. So yeah, we paid £5.95 for this. Looking online, it is not selling anywhere near what I thought it was. So average sale price online, we're looking at £14. So with sort of shipping and eBay fees, we would be looking at a £1.70 profit. So not massive, but still it's not a loss. At least I know that sort of the super dry stuff doesn't really have sort of a second-hand market to it. Then next up in the Dogs Trust, we found a brand new jigsaw puzzle. So this is a Downton Abbey 1,000 piece jigsaw. We paid £5 for this, and obviously it's priced up at £5 because it's new. So this is something that I have seen sort of quite frequently in the Dogs Trust. If they do get a new jigsaw puzzle, they're then sort of priced up by sort of quite a bit. So yeah, we paid £5 for this. Looking online, I'm seeing sold comps of around sort of £16. So that would net us a £3.36 profit. So once again, not massive amounts of profit, but still it's going to help us to keep the eBay algorithm sort of ticking over. So yeah, that is going to be it for today. So what were the totals? So total spend today was £10.95. Total expected sale price is £30 exactly, and that would net us a total profit of £5.06. So yeah, not massive amounts of profit, but at the moment the main thing that I'm sort of trying to do is obviously just keep the eBay store ticking over. I've got loads and loads of stuff in sort of backlog that I need to sort of get photographed and sort of get uploaded. But equally I also want some sort of fresh stuff coming through, and obviously going into the winter I am sort of trying to get hold of things sort of like men's and women's jumpers. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to sort of give it a thumbs up, and also if you're not already, maybe consider sort of hitting the subscribe button and ringing the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye.